Shut up and sit down.
Alright. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of More Content Talk. That's the only show that cuts through the glam, the glitz, and all the bullshit to bring you the truthiest news that we can find. Today, I want to talk about a particularly interesting, disconcerting, annoying subject. And that is the subject of prepping. And prepping really went through a kind of a boom period during the early on in the conspiracy movement, when they had all the FEMA camp conspiracies, when Alex Jones and Jesse Ventura were on the case to bring you the latest in nonsense, and it's got everyone all in a tizzy about Barack Obama coming to their house and taking away their guns and their, porno mags or whatever, people who prep have. They don't really have much. The funniest thing about prepping is that the people who do it tend to not have anything to protect, really. But anyway, the reason I even bring it up, because I had forgotten all about prepping, because I used to kind of be into stuff like that, and, you end up wasting a lot of money on it. It never really gets you anywhere. And you also, if you don't have a lot of money, there's not really much you can buy, so you can't really get that far into the whole preparedness thing, because it's like, you realize very quickly it's a rich man's game, a very dumb rich man's game, because there's always some new tool that you're going to need, whether it be like, if the grid's going to go down, you got your backup, like gas, power stuff, or you got your converters, or, maybe you have some backup batteries or stuff like that, all kinds of stuff that just in case the apocalypse comes, you all you have to do is walk in the garage and flip on a switch, and then it's just like the movies, the power of the whole house comes on, just like this big elusive fantasy, which it is, because you have no proof, first of all, that there's going to be any of this nonsense that people are screaming about. We're going to have some sort of apocalyptic scenario. People were saying that was going to be the case with COVID early on, and obviously, we're seeing it kind of start to taper down a little bit. I'm not calling it over, but, just look at the numbers. You're seeing more and more people getting vaccinated, and, more and more looking like it's not at all the end of the world. It definitely was not a fun time, and, there are definitely so many tragic things that go on daily, really, if you pay attention, but it's not catastrophic. And it doesn't mean that the world is ending. It just doesn't, even if it is catastrophic. One of the reasons we know that we don't know if the world is ending is because the world has never ended before, that we know of. So we don't know what a world-ending scenario would look like. But they're always so specific. There's always this assumption that, when the quote-unquote apocalypse comes, that people aren't going to take money anymore. And it's a very interesting assumption, because it's biblical, number one. So you can see like the kind of Christian, culture that runs through the United States, bleeding into, what people would call kind of a almost secular culture when you get into preppers and stuff like that, even though there's a Christian level to that. But there's definitely a secular level to it too. And I see more and more environmentalists and people on the left becoming preppers, which is very disconcerting. I'm very shocked, because this is something you would expect from the right, but it's also just something that you expect from paranoid people, and there are paranoid people on the left just like there are paranoid people on the right. And the whole reason I bring this up is because I saw leftists on YouTube, and they were seriously talking about selling me like the stuff I need to get through the apocalypse in style. And granted, like, they didn't say it like that, but right before the video comes on, there's this advertisement, which is a prepper's kit, and it's $125 or something like that, and that's what comes on right before the video. So obviously, this YouTuber has a sponsor, and they were paid to do this video. And obviously that's, their choice if they want to accept money from companies to scare people into buying products. That's their prerogative. But I'll tell you, I'm definitely not going to watch that channel anymore because, how do I know when you're telling the truth and you're not just trying to sell me something? And, the leftist news YouTubers and news channels are not above just trying to scare you into purchasing things. It's a phenomenon that's called sponsored content. And it's there made to look like news, skewed to look like news. Maybe even it has little bits of news intermingled with it. Like this particular video was talking about the possibility of natural disasters increasing, and that's definitely a possibility, and maybe even a definite. Can you prep for a natural disaster, though? That's the question. Can you really do that? One of the questions I had asked this person was, well, okay, let's say I buy your kit, right? And I have 3, 4, or 5 years of food stocked up in my basement, and then my basement floods because of the natural disaster, and all the food is ruined. So then what? What do we do after that? Are you going to reimburse me for the food? Because I think you'll probably be down in Cabo, partying it up, you know what I mean, on all the money that I just gave you. And that's my point, is that you would be better off just taking the money and keeping it, maybe putting it in a savings account. And then when the natural disaster does come, you have some money to repair what's left of your house, or maybe, put toward buying a new house. Something that would be better. Or, if it's a really bad natural disaster, just getting out of town, you'd have some money to get to somewhere where it was safe. You still need to fill your car with gas, and while you're, waiting for the apocalypse to come, there's still a normal life to live here on Earth. You still have normal obligations and normal responsibilities. And when you get carried away with, the concerns of the future and what's to come, you really can lose your mind really quickly and end up buying some junk that you don't need. But yeah, this is the leftist version of these preachers who are, on, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I read in the Bible that God is going to blow the sun up, and if you want to get through the apocalypse, you have to buy my Kraft macaroni and cheese 65 pack. It will last you for a decade if you take a spoonful each day. And now we have this on the left too. I mean, what's going on? People need to go on vacation or something. I mean, people need a break from politics for a while, I guess. Not everyone's not like me. I have such a thick skin. I see stuff like that. I see people selling me stuff in their videos, and then it's in the ads, and I put two and two together. I say, wait a minute. You're trying to pull one over on me. And it would make sense for them to sell it to that audience right now, because, the left has gone through kind of a traumatic period over this past year. And so, now everyone's all riled up, and they're thinking, who knows what, maybe the government's spying on them or what's going on, some of the fantasies that people have. And then you come in and you're capitalizing on their fear, is what you're doing to people when you do that. When you sell them things, these fear-based products, it's really, taking advantage of someone, because you're not benefiting them in any way. All that crap is just going to go to waste. I mean, let's be honest. And it's shit food. I mean, there's some of the nastiest stuff you'll ever eat. This is just all kinds of canned cheeses and, Spam and just the worst type of things. But Yeah, they were basically trying to say, hey, climate change is around the corner, and if you buy some canned macaroni salad, you'll be able to get through it with the amazing Prepper Package 5000 for all your paranoid needs. Prepping, really? Pretty sure soon they'll have like prepping reality TV shows. Maybe they already do. I shouldn't even say pretty soon. I should just assume that there's a reality television show for everything. That's nuts. Anything nuts. And I mean, like, you think about prepping, isn't it just like hoarding, but like with like a reason? You know what I mean? It's just another reason to collect junk, kind of like baseball cards, or when I was young we had Pogs, little round things that you're supposed to slam down and play a game with. I don't know, or Beanie Babies. This is Kraft macaroni and cheese and refried beans, canned beets, and all the good stuff. That your Depression era foods. Probably not Kraft macaroni and cheese. That's probably a luxury during the Great Depression. But still, And how come prepping food always has to be gross? Like, do you have to be miserable during the apocalypse? Is that like a requirement? Otherwise, you're not doing it right. Can't they have like some prepper, like filet mignon, or some prepper, lobster tail? That's what I want. If I'm gonna prep, it's gonna be in style. Like, I'm gonna go, down to IKEA and get a bunch of fancy faux furniture and just pile couches one on top of the other. I'll put all of my prepper food inside the compartments in the couches, because IKEA's got a compartment in every little thing, and I'll just snack the apocalypse away until Jesus shows up. And maybe Jesus would appreciate the snacks. I don't know. It's just, you don't imagine Kraft macaroni and cheese in the apocalypse, and refried beans, what I mean? Spam. Okay, I think that's enough. To be completely honest, any amount of energy that is put into talking about something as stupid as prepping, it's like it exhausts me and I need to go to bed. All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to today's rather hilarious show. Enjoying doing this so much. I'm enjoying watching the show grow. If you'd like to help it grow, you could always support us on Anchor, subscribe to the show on Anchor, follow us at More Content Talk at YouTube, TikTok, as well as Instagram. And you could also follow us at Twitter at more_content PLS. All right, everyone. I hope you have a phenomenal day, evening, afternoon, siesta, fiesta, downtime, chill time, whatever it may be. And remember, when life gets you down, you can always laugh at something else. Farewell, folks. Happy prepping. No, don't do that. Bye.
Shut up and sit down.